Hey, this is Patrick from the Wellness Enterprise and
Brandon from the Wellness Enterprise.
we're trying something new here, which is recording with two people in a blurred background. So if one of us disappears a little bit while it's going on, just give us poetic license and hang with us, okay? We're really excited to be making this video together because, by the way, Brandon, the camera's up here, so we look up here as much as we can. That's where we meet people. Because Brandon and I operate totally differently, and Brandon has he's frankly got a very high intellect, which I'm appreciative of, and he's got a lot of mechanical skills and a deeper understanding of some of the scientific concepts that are present in our world. And I'm more of a feeling, spiritual, kinesthetic experience with things. So we're hoping that talking together is going to get you guys the information you need to really understand structured water and the best water for yourself. So customers sent in some questions today, and we wanted to answer them together. And so for the first one, the person writes, I'd like to better understand the technology of the process that tap water goes through to make it better for us to drink, shower, use, etc. For example, how does water passing through your device for 1 second remove all the toxins and trash in the water, things like fluoride and chlorine and chloramines and things like that. So I'm going to set the stage for this answer. So the first thing that we have to contemplate here is the distinction of chemistry, which is removing things from water, and physics, which is transforming things from water. And the cultural conversation on water is about removing things, right? We get taught to fear what's in the water, right? Be afraid of the fluoride, the chlorine, the chloramines, and then remove it. And that conversation keeps us small and afraid and thinking that we need to remove things. And I have a perspective of oneness on life. How do I remove anything from oneness? It's impossible. So we think about transformation. Transformation is using nature's sacred tools like a vortex spin and sacred geometry to reorganize things. So let me throw it over to you for a second and see, what you would say from your perspective about it.
From my perspective, as the water goes through the device and creates that vortexing action along with the other things that go on within the Aqua Energizer that is very specific to the Aqua Energizer. It is able to change the molecular bond structure of the different things in the water and the water itself. That's what creates it being structured water, but that's what also neutralizes the toxins, because the toxins, when they're in the water, they have formed a 90-degree bond angle within the water, and thus creating a toxin. And as we go through the process of going through the Aqua Energizer, then the bond angles of those toxins are shifted to about 120-degree bond angle, which then neutralizes the toxins. It doesn't remove them, but it takes away their power.
Perfect. And one of the things I love about the Aqua Energizer and why we're so wholehearted about it compared to technologies that we've supported in the past is that we've actually had a measurement with a strip test kit, right? What do you call those kits that you get at Home Depot?
A water testing kit.
A water testing kit. And, I call it a strip test because it has strips that you dip in and then the colors change.
Yeah.
And so we got that water testing kit from Home Depot, and it tests nitrites and nitrates. Nitrites, the toxic form of nitrogen.
Yes.
Nitrates, the nutrient form of nitrogen. The difference is oxidation state, right?
Correct.
So what happened is we took water with 10 parts per million of, there was disappearing Brandon for a second, with 10 parts per million of nitrites, and we poured it through copper, crystals, and ormus, an ormus coating on the outside of the device, which there's no reason to think that the nitrites would be gone. And yet they went from 10 parts per million to 0 parts per million. And at the same time, the nitrates went up. So I've understood that to mean that we cause an oxidation state change.
Through the aspect that the Aqua Energizer does create a small electromagnetic current as the water runs through there. And using that technology is what is essential to be able to produce that effect.
Right on. So, we finally have a structured water device that uses a physics-based process and comes out with a chemistry-based collection of evidence that says it works. That's really
Yes.
exciting.
Yes,
we
it
have
is.
we have evidence of toxin change.